Welcome to Mystic Musings with Tobie Hewitt. I'm Tobie Hewitt, and I'm your guide through time and space and all points in between. Mystic Musings will give you insight into who you are, why you are here, how to live an authentic life, and where you fit into the universe around you. Join me on this path of mystical exploration. Welcome to episode 48 of Mystic Musings with Tobie Hewitt. This week, we will examine the nature of nature as we continue our mystic journey. We spend a good portion of our days cut off from nature. We work in buildings with heating and cooling systems. We are lucky if we have access to windows. We drive to work and keep our eyes on the road and each other, and not on the trees or the birds or the sky. Unless we are lucky enough to work outdoors, we are probably not enjoying the time in nature that will replenish and sustain us. There are tree forests in Japan in which people enjoy what is known as tree bathing, which promotes health physically, emotionally, mentally, and spiritually, and allows people to experience a deep sense of calm and a feeling of being grounded in relation to the earth. Trees not only offer a unique sense of connectivity, partly because they are connected one to the other, and they share this with other beings, such as humans, but they also emit essential oils that, when inhaled, help to fortify the immune system. During my research, I found that there are such forests in California, and I suspect the idea will continue to spread as the positive effects of tree bathing become better known. People also journey to oceans, lakes, and rivers to become refreshed by the effects of moving waters. In the case of oceans especially, we can enjoy breathing in the clean air charged with negative ions, which has a therapeutic effect on our lungs and immune systems, and additionally serve to calm and rejuvenate us through their energies. All moving waters help to instill a sense of peace and serenity. When we journey to the desert or to the mountains or anywhere that nature is thriving in full force, we can connect to that aspect of the planet that is here to exist symbiotically with us as we are sustained and instilled with the healing vibrations that surround us as we open our senses to the intrinsic wholeness of nature, of which we are a natural aspect, but from which we often feel separated because modern life has caused us to lose those vital connections to that of which we were once an inseparable part. In earth-based religions, such as the Druids practiced, nature was the basis for our very existence. Nature sustained us, and we, in turn, cared for it and celebrated it. Our daily lives were very much a part of the cycle of the seasons, and we created rituals and ceremonies to honor it and reaffirm our place within it. As we began to separate ourselves from the natural world around us, we lost the awareness of the symbiotic relationship we had with the environment. Instead of honoring it, we used and indeed abused the land, air, and water, not only hurting the ecosystem itself, but in turn polluting it to our own detriment. We need nature to survive on the planet. If we were to disappear from the earth, in a surprisingly short time, the world would clean itself of our presence and regain a healthy state of being. As those in Flint, Michigan, for example, are aware, an imbalance in water purity can wreak havoc on the welfare of the inhabitants. As we move further away from our roots, the roots themselves are in danger from illness and overharvesting. As we use pesticides to ensure the prettiest apple possible, we are ingesting toxicity with every bite. And as we allow our government to change ecologically friendly policies to those that favor the financial health of corporations rather than the physical health of our planet, we are indeed harming ourselves as we allow the pollution of the land, water, and air. When Spirit gave me the topic for this week, I struggled to think what more I could say about nature that has not been said before. I think in some ways, the harm being done right now to the delicate balance of our environment is symptomatic of the harm we are doing to ourselves as we move further away from the awareness of the nature of nature. It is not just a tree growing on a patch of land, but indeed the spirit of that tree and its connection to other trees and the larger spiritual dimension of which all nature, including us, is a part that needs our focus and attention. If we start to become aware of the nature of nature as a visible aspect of the spiritual dimension that is physically here as we are physically here, we can become aware of the deep connection we have to everything around us. The nature of nature is the same as the nature of us. We are spiritual beings having a physical experience. The spiritual aspects of nature are the same as ours. We were both created by the creative spirit in and through the energy of love. And as such, we need to recognize our deepest connections to the natural world around us. The natural world serves to support us in our journey through this lifetime, and causing it harm causes us harm. We should all make a better effort to spend time in nature and allow ourselves to become familiar with its nuances and the spiritual aspects of these elements around us. Time spent in natural settings allows us to be healed and helped by the vibrations emitted by the flora and the fauna, the oceans and the mountains, the air, and the very ground upon which we walk. When we begin to realize our deep connection to all around us, we can be fortified to ask our legislators to enact laws that better protect the environment and indeed to change our own less than environmentally sound practices that diminish the health of the planet. Today, a wide variety of earth-based belief systems have returned to some of the old ways of interacting with nature. Celebrating the seasons and honoring the natural aspects around them, these folks remind us that the spirit of the earth is the same spirit of which we are a part. When we mindfully move through nature, widely aware that we are one with it and with each other, we touch the greatest lesson we are here to learn. We are all one. For this week's exercise, I ask you to read up on tree bathing, visit a park, or maybe go and sit next to your closest moving body of water and experience the loving and peace-filled vibrations that can be found in those settings. And if you have the chance, wrap your arms around a tree, press your ear to its trunk, and feel and listen to the loving messages it will share with you. Please join me next week for episode 49 when we examine the river of life as we continue our mystic journey. Thanks for listening to this episode of Mystic Musings. Please join me every week to continue our exploration of all things mystical that can help you have a more practical and magical life. Please visit my website, TobieHewitt.com, for more information and to read my blog postings. And join me also at pathwaystomindfulness.org to learn how you can schedule a presentation. I'm available for mindfulness training, demonstrations of psychic abilities, and individual readings. I also have a number of books on mystical topics on Amazon.com. I look forward to hearing from you and answering your questions. Please contact me through TobieHewitt.com.